And cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Hopefully everyone's enjoying this beautiful Thursday here in the ancient city. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm here with Kelly, and we're broadcasting live for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. We're broadcasting live this evening from the English Landing Marina at the Marina Munch on board the motor vessel Ovation. Special thanks to Apple Yacht Sales. We do this broadcast weekly, every Thursday evening, to provide useful information for our boating family. Every Thursday evening at 1800 hours during the summer boating season, we do this broadcast to share vital information. We encourage participation. This is a live broadcast on a VHF radio channel in one of the most popular destinations on the East Coast. So there will be several breaks to clear traffic during our broadcast. I do encourage participation, so please feel free to join in at any point, at any break in our broadcast this evening. This evening's broadcast, we will have a roll call for boaters to check in and give us a shout out. Let us know what the name of your boat is and where you're broadcasting from so we can see how far we reach. We will also talk about weather, tides, local warnings, and marina information, as well as what's happening this weekend here in the ancient city, followed by a weekly blessing. Then join us live immediately after the broadcast on the Anchor Eats Facebook page for the Captain's Corner. It's a live interactive broadcast. Get yourself a pen, a piece of paper. There may be some useful information. Pour yourself a fresh drink and get yourself ready for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast. We're going to take a quick break, clear the channel. When we get back, we'll have weather and tides. Please stand by. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Again, my name is Brian Bliss, and I'm broadcasting live for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast. The St. Augustine Cruisers Network is a group of volunteers that are local boaters just like yourself. There's thousands of volunteers and members of the St. Augustine Cruisers Network, and they have a Facebook page that allows and shares very important information for our boating community. I highly encourage you checking out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. It is the private page. It is a great source of boating information. Tell you about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor of the St. Augustine Cruisers Network is a company here called Anchor Eats Nautical Delivery Service here in the St. Augustine area. Anchor Eats is the concierge service for the harbor. They will deliver you marine supplies, groceries, and provisions, as well as hot food directly to your boat. Think of them as the DoorDash on the water. You can find out more information about Anchor Eats by checking out their website, getanchoreats.com. Now is the time we like to conduct our Ancient City Roll Call. If you're listening into this evening show and you'd like to check in, now's the time to do it. Please check in now.
This is Captain Stagger coming from English Landing Marina.
Good evening, Captain Stagger. I'd like to thank those boaters that checked in during our Ancient City roll call. Right now, I'd like to open up the floor for any listeners out there that have any questions or want to share any announcements with the group. Do you have any questions or need any information about products or services while you're here in the Ancient City? If so, please let us know now. And again, remember to check out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. It's a very useful page, gives a lot of boating information, talks about all of we have lots of local vendors and lots of local businesses that help support our boating community. So check out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. It is the private page. Now, St. Augustine is a very popular destination, not just because it's an amazing city, but also due to our convenient location of our inlet. It's very close to the city as well as to the Intercoastal Waterway, making it a very convenient stop along the East Coast. With this convenient location of our inlet to the city, we do experience very strong currents here in the St. Augustine area. The best way to negotiate the strong currents here in St. Augustine is to know your tides. Cannot overemphasize the importance of negotiating the currents here because they can be very strong. So I'd like to share a little weather and tidal information with you. First, I'd like to tell you who's sponsoring our weather and tides portion of this evening's broadcast. Code Brown Mobile Pump Out Service. Chris over there at Code Brown Mobile Pump Out, he'll come to your boat and give you a pump out. He comes to you in the mooring fields, the anchorages, the marinas. Code Brown will come to you no matter where you're at. Chris at Code Brown helps keep our beautiful waters here in St. Augustine clean. I highly recommend you checking out Code Brown Pump Out. You can find out more information by checking out their website, codebrownpumpout.com, or call them direct at 904-837-8740. That's Code Brown Mobile Pump Out Service. Our tidal information I'm going to share with you, I get from the usharbors.com website. The times I give you will be for the city docks and those mariners that are looking for slack water. Slack water is 50 minutes after the tidal change. That's 50 minutes after the tidal change to anticipate slack water. Our tides for this weekend. August 14th on Friday, we're going to have a high tide about 10:35 in the morning, followed by a low tide at 4:45 in the evening on Friday. Saturday, August 15th, we're going to have a high tide. We're going to have a high tide at 11:24 in the morning, followed by a low tide about 5:35 in the afternoon on Saturday. Sunday, August 16th, we're going to have a high tide just after noon at 12:10. Then a low tide on Sunday evening around 6:25. This tidal cycle that we're in right now, we're going to have the flood tide all morning with that nice pretty water here in the Ancient City. Going to have a midday high tide, and then we're going to have that ebb tide all afternoon with an evening low tide. Again, I can't remind you enough to be vigilant and pay attention to the strong currents that we have here in St. Augustine. Use caution and know your tides. Our marine forecast for the St. Augustine area I get from the NOAA website, and the forecast I give you will be from the St. Augustine to Flagler Beach, out from the beach to 20 nautical miles. Friday, we have southwest winds 5 to 10 knots, south 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas will be 2 feet with a moderate chop on the inland waters on Friday. Saturday, we're going to have southwest winds 5 to 10 knots, seas only 2 feet with a light chop on the inland waters. Sunday, we're going to have those south winds continue 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Seas will be 2 feet and the inland waterways will be a light chop. Our weather forecast for the weekend I get from the Weather Channel. And I am not a weatherman at all. I just share the weather information to help you calibrate your weekend's activities. Friday, we're going to have a high of 91 degrees with a low of 76 degrees. And we have a 25% chance of rain on Friday. We'll have mostly sunny skies with a stray shower or thunderstorm possible in the afternoon. Saturday, we're going to have a high of 92 degrees with a low of 77 degrees. Rain percentage for rain is 18% on Saturday. It's going to be generally sunny with a few afternoon clouds on Saturday. Again, we will have that stray shower or thunderstorm possible in the afternoon. Sunday, we're going to have a high of 92 degrees with a low of 78 degrees. Our rain chance is all the way down to 13%. Going to be some intervals of clouds, but mostly sunny on Sunday. It's going to be a beautiful weekend here in the ancient city. So get out there on the water and enjoy the incredible waters here in St. Augustine. Now we have our sandbar patrol, or our sandbar report, and this is brought to you by the Anchor Eats Sandbar Patrol. You can look for the Anchor Eats Sandbar Patrol every weekend out on the local sandbars. They'll have hot food and cold treats. Look for the Ice Cream Cowboy and the Orange Dinghy, or hail them on channel 69. That's the Sandbar Patrol for Anchor Eats. In Hospital Creek, up Jules Isle, around the Bird Island area, on Saturday, we're going to have maximum sandbars from 3:30 in the afternoon to about 7:30 in the evening. That's with that afternoon low tide. Sunday, we're going to have maximum sandbars in up Hospital Creek from about 4:30 in the afternoon till 8:30 p.m. with that evening low tide. Sunday morning early, we will have good sandbars exposed early before 10 o'clock on Sunday in Hospital Creek. Salt Run and the Anastasia Beach area there, just on the beaches area there, right at the channel, the entrance channel to Salt Run. You're going to have a maximum beach exposure on Saturday from 3 o'clock until 8 p.m. in the afternoon. Sunday, that maximum beach exposure will be from about 3:30 in the afternoon till about 8:30 in the evening. Our Salt Run sandbar that pops up at low tide, you will find that sandbar with the most sand exposed from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday. Followed by Sunday, you'll have maximum sandbar exposure in Salt Run from 4:30 to 7:30. Please remember to use caution and be courteous when you're boating in and around the sandbars. Please watch your wakes and be courteous. I want to remind you about a couple new sandbars that have popped up in the St. Augustine area. We do have a sandbar that's popped up just east of the channel leading to the Volano boat ramp. Make sure you use caution when boating just to the northeast of that channel in the Volano Beach area, just northeast of the channel to the Volano Beach boat ramp. Also, the southwest corner of Bird Island behind the fort is starting to stretch out towards the mooring field. Make sure you give that a wide berth behind the fort there. At low tide, that sandbar stretches quite a ways from Bird Island in a southern direction towards the mooring field. Remember to be vigilant and to use caution, because at low tide you may see the sandbars, but at high tide you'll feel them. So make sure you use caution and be careful boating in and around the St. Augustine area. That's just some of the information about our tides and our weather that's happening in and around the St. Augustine area. We're going to take a quick break, clear the channel. When we get back, we're going to have some local marine information and warnings going on in the St. Augustine area. Please stand by. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Hopefully everyone's enjoying this amazing Thursday evening here in the ancient city. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm with Kelly this afternoon, broadcasting live from the Marina Munch for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. This portion of the broadcast, I'd like to talk about some local maritime information, as any warnings that we have around the St. Augustine area. We talked about our inlet and how convenient it is to the city and for our boating community with its proximity real close to the city. That inlet, you need to know that the inlet has significant shoaling and sandbars that are both north and south of the Mark Channel. If you're going to transit the inlet, I highly recommend staying in the Mark Channel all the way to the sea buoy if you're outbound, and start your inbound approach at the sea buoy if you're inbound. We do experience we have shoaling and sandbars that are both north and south of the Mark Channel in the St. Augustine Inlet. Also be advised that the current in the inlet is pretty strong, and wind opposing the current, the conditions may look completely different from one tide to the next. So be vigilant, do your homework, and pay attention to the tides when using the St. Augustine Inlet. Talked about it earlier with the shifting sandbars and the new sandbars around St. Augustine. Make sure you're vigilant and use caution when boating through the St. Augustine area. Also, please remember to be courteous with your wakes. You are responsible for your wakes in and around the St. Augustine area. Want to make you aware that currently the city is having construction on the seawall north of the Bridge of Lions. There is a crane, a construction barge out there, so please use caution when boating north of the Bridge of Lions in that mooring field area there. There is a construction barge there. Please use caution. Now let's talk about the crown jewel of St. Augustine. It's our Bridge of Lions. It's a bascule bridge, goes right through the heart of St. Augustine. It's a very busy bridge. It opens on a schedule, every hour on the hour and on the half hour. To get in contact with the bridge, you can call them on channel VHF channel 09 or channel 16. All bridges in the state of Florida monitor channel 09. This is where you need to be vigilant with your currents. You may not realize you have a 4-knot current on your stern until you have to wait for a bridge opening. Pay attention to your currents, know your tides, and be vigilant, especially when waiting on bridge openings for the Bridge of Lions. Yeah, I'd like to share a little marina information with you about our big 3 marinas located here in the St. Augustine area. Let's start out with the area south of the inlet, let's start out with the area north of the inlet. This is the Volano Beach area. You'll see the big fixed bridge up there. That's the Usina Bridge in Volano, north of the inlet. You will see boats that are anchored up there. That is our Volano anchorage. Be advised there is a dinghy dock for daily usage that extends off of the Volano fishing pier. Make sure you do a proper tie on your boat at that dinghy dock. We do experience very strong currents, and it is not located in any type of wake restriction zone. And we ask that you please refrain from docking in the yellow painted areas. We load water taxis and water shuttles in those areas. There's plenty of other places for you to tie up. In that Volano Beach area, there is a grocery store up there called Publix. So it's a very convenient way to re-provision your boat while you're here in St. Augustine. Now, our first of our big 3 marinas located in St. Augustine is located in the Volano Beach area. This marina is located just at the western side, on the north side of that Usina Bridge, that fixed bridge up there. It's called Comanche Cove Marina. Comanche Cove Marina is a full-service marina. They offer fuel sales, diesel sales, and pump-out services. They also have transient dockage available. Nice thing about Comanche Cove is they have a breakwater that eliminates most, if not all, of the current inside their harbor, making slow-speed maneuvering a little easier. Comanche Cove Marina has shops, restaurants, and a boatyard on their property. And it is the home of Vinny's Pizza, a local favorite here in the St. Augustine area. Spoke with Travis over there at the Comanche Cove Marina, and he told me that they are adding 18 boat slips for next year. Boat lifts. So they're actually going to be able to get your boat up out of the water there. They're adding 18 of them at Comanche Cove. So give them a call and get on the list so you can get your boat out of the water. Comanche Cove, the staff over at Comanche Cove is very knowledgeable and very professional. If you need to get in touch with anyone over there, you can call them on their direct channel, channel 68 on the VHF radio. That's channel 68 for Comanche Cove Marina in Volano Beach. Our second of our big three marinas is located south of the inlet in that area called the Salt Run area. There is a Salt Run mooring field that's up there, and it's all underneath the lighthouse. You'll see the lighthouse up there. There's a city-maintained mooring field called the Salt Run mooring field that's up Salt Run near the lighthouse. There is a daily dinghy dock that you can use over there in front of the lighthouse at the boat rent there. Also up Salt Run is the second of our big three marinas, and it's a local favorite. It is called the Conch Marina. The Conch Marina is a full-service marina. They offer transient dockage, fuel sales, diesel sales. They have a very popular restaurant and tiki bar, as well as a hotel and gift shop on their property. They have designated daily dockage for anyone that wants to frequent the restaurant or the lounge. It is located on J dock or on the outside of H dock. If you're interested in docking up, whether it's for the evening or just for the day, you can call the Conch Marina on their direct channel, VHF channel 69 for the Conch Marina. Conch Marina has live music all weekend out on their patio at the Tiki Bar. Also this weekend, they have a great event going on. They have the FrontRunner boats will be having their summer showcase of their new cats. So come check out their 43, their 37, and the all-new 35 cat by FrontRunner boats. There will be tours, demonstrations, and maybe a couple boat rides for the lucky few. That's FrontRunner at the Conch Marina this weekend. Check it out. Look for Lexi, Lindsay, or Phil on the dock for more information. That's Saturday and Sunday at the Conch Marina up the Salt Run. Now let's talk about our third of our big three marinas, and it is the biggest of all three. It is the St. Augustine Municipal Marina, located in downtown St. Augustine. The large marina that's on the western bank, just south of the Bridge of Lions, is the St. Augustine Municipal Marina. This is the doorstep to the city. St. Augustine Municipal Marina is a full-service marina. They offer fuel sales, diesel sales, pump-out services, both mobile and dockside, as well as transient service. They manage the 3 mooring fields that are in St. Augustine and the 2 downtown mooring fields, the one south of the Bridge of Lions, the Menendez Field, and the one north of the Bridge of Lions, the San Marco Field. They offer a daily shuttle service to those 2 downtown mooring fields. This is a great service provided by the city of St. Augustine, and you can catch a free complimentary ride on their shuttle service. It starts at 10 a.m. and it runs till 6 p.m. daily, and it runs in 2-hour intervals. Those of you not staying in the anchorages or in the mooring fields, and you'd like to still use the doorstep to the city, the dinghy dock, you can purchase a daily dinghy pass from the St. Augustine Municipal Marina. To get any information about any of these services or to utilize any of their services, you can contact the St. Augustine Municipal Marina on VHF channel 71. That is their direct channel for the St. Augustine Municipal Marina, downtown St. Augustine. That's just some of the local information and warnings about the inlet and sandbars and currents. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll have our blessing and close the show. Please stand by. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. My name is Brian Bliss, broadcasting live for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. We do this broadcast to share vital information about the city of St. Augustine and the surrounding waters with our local boating family. Right now, I'd like to give you a little bit of information about what's happening in St. Augustine this weekend. St. Augustine is an amazing city. There's so much to do, or there's so much to not do. The entire city is a museum. We could talk about what different things to do in St. Augustine all night, or I can share some great information with you. I found a very useful website that has great information about what's happening in St. Augustine. The name of this website is visitstaugustine.com. Visitstaugustine.com gives you info about what's going on, like the skimboarding tournament that's happening this weekend, the Pro-Am competition that's happening Saturday and Sunday in Volano Beach. That's the skimboarding tournament. Check that out. You can also find out information on the visitstaugustine.com about festivals and markets around the city. They'll give you information about the live music that's going on, like the live music tonight at the Concerts in the Plaza from 6 to 8. Highly recommend bringing chairs. The benches fill up quickly. Speaking about live music, St. Augustine's hidden jewel is the amphitheater. The amphitheater is an outdoor venue located on Anastasia Island that gets great headliner bands, very big bands, and just if you like music, I would check out theamp.com. Get more information about the different venues and festivals that they have going on at the amphitheater. Jordan Davis is performing this Sunday at 7 o'clock at the amphitheater. Find out more about that at theamp.com. The amphitheater is also well known for their great farmers market that they do every Saturday from 8:30 to 12:30. This is a great event. Highly recommend you checking it out. There's lots of local vendors, live music, and they have some of the best Bloody Marys in St. Augustine. Unfortunately, our pets and four-legged friends have to stay at home for this one as they're not allowed at the amphitheater. But there is free parking. I highly encourage checking out the amphitheater every Saturday from 8:30 to 12:30. 8:30 to 12:30. That's the farmers market at the amphitheater. Now on Sundays, the farmers market at the Classic Car Museum is a must-do. I tell you, it's my favorite farmers market in St. Augustine. They have hundreds of vendors, fresh produce, they have fresh meat and poultry, and dairy products from local farmers. Pets are welcome. It's an amazing event every Sunday from 9 to 1. Look for the Dogtown Hot Dogs booth. Dogtown is the official hot dog for the sandbars. If you tell Javier you heard about him on the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast, you'll get a great discount on one of St. Augustine's best hot dogs. You can find Dogtown at the farmers market every Sunday, and then throughout the week, you can find him at the Outpost on Moultrie Road. Mark your calendars for the big reggae party going on August 22nd at the Outpost on Moultrie Road. There's also a North City Farmers Market that happens daily up by the north gates of the city. This is in the Schooners parking lot. This is a great event every Sunday, 9 to 1. Pets are allowed. There's free parking. I highly recommend you checking out this event. It's a great event. Then also, the St. Augustine Cruisers Network plans local events in and around the city. We have our very own Captain Sarah. She's the local ambassador for fun here in St. Augustine. She plans our St. Augustine Cruisers Network events. Just go to the Facebook page, scroll over to events, and look and see what Sarah has planned for the upcoming events. And it's a great way to meet fellow boaters like yourself and to find new watering holes around the city. This is just some of the amazing things to do in and around the city of St. Augustine. Always remember that you can check out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page if you have any questions of what's going on, what's happening. We have so many volunteers on there that are eager to help. So if you need information, whether it's where to get the cheapest gas, or where to buy an impeller for your generator, or what's the happening place, or what's the happening thing going on tonight, check out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network. Please stand by for this week's blessing. May the seas lie smooth before you. May a gentle breeze forever fill your sails. May sunshine warm your face and kindness warm your soul. And until we meet again, may God bless you and keep you safe.
That's a song.
Remember to be kind, live proper, and make amazing memories here in the ancient city. And remember this, others truly dream of the lives that we live. We are all truly blessed. Whether you're a sailor, a fisherman, a powerboater, a cruiser, a kayaker, or you work in the boating business, we are all blessed to be stewards of the sea.
Except pontoon boats.
Now I'd like to open the floor for any closing comments or questions before we close the show. If you have any questions or want to share any information, happy birthdays or anything like that, please do so now.
Everybody's here ready for football.
They're lurking. We got lurkers. Shrimp boat coming.
Football. Everybody who's smart knows.
Remember to check out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page for important local boating information. It is the private page. It is the St. Augustine Boaters channel. You can catch this evening's full broadcast or any past broadcast by checking out the Anchor Eats YouTube channel. Then remember to please join us immediately following this broadcast for our Captain's Corner live Facebook broadcast on the Anchor Eats Facebook page. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Admiral Yacht Sales for providing this nice boat, Anchor Eats Nautical Delivery Service for bringing us snacks and foods, Code Brown Mobile Pump Out Service,
Say that fast,
Dogtown
fast,
Hot
fast.
Dogs, our friends at the St. Augustine Farmers Market, the Marina Munch, and of course, FrontRunner Boats. I'd like to thank everybody for listening and participating in this evening's show. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm here with Kelly. We're broadcasting live for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network from the English Landing Marina aboard the motor vessel Ovation. I have nothing further to say. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. We will see you guys out on the water. I'm clear. Going back to 16. Stand by. 1672.
Pegasus. Coming in hot.
I like that.